On the blue line, Brandon Avazov, Brett Bell, Philip Doucette up front for the visiting squad. Meanwhile, for the Danbury Junior hat tricks, it's Nate Hadley getting the call in goal. He comes in with a personal record of 12 wins. Check that, 13 wins and 5 losses. A goals against average of .296, a save percentage of 90.6. Bryce Wallace, Ryan Wojciechowski on the blue line. Nick Cullinan, Nikita Kovalev, Misha Mashar up front for Danbury. And Casey, it's these two top lines that I think really will dictate how this series goes.
Absolutely, Zach. You're talking about two of the best trios that have all been clicking at the right time. Both teams have their top line units on fire right now. The top 3 players for the Danbury Junior hat tricks up front as Misha Mashar carries it in. These 3 guys in their last 6 games combined for 15 goals and 15 assists. They are ridiculously hot right now. And countering for New Jersey, Philip Doucette, Brandon Avazov, a dynamic duo that lit up the East Division Showcase earlier this month. I mean, this is a really high-octane offense on both sides.
Brandon Avazov, over 60 points during the regular season. He's a top 10 scorer in the NA3HL. Danbury in their home whites going from with orange and silver going from right to left on your screens at home. Looking to clear, kept alive only for a moment by Bell. Mastroni looking to clear as well as the second line is out for both these teams. Just a minute gone by in this first period. As we mentioned, 8 meetings between these two teams over the regular season. Danbury winning 5 of them, and they won 5 of their last 6 as well.
They're heading into the playoffs hot, and sometimes it's not just about getting in, it's getting hot at the right time. And for the Danbury Junior hat tricks, everything was clicking on all cylinders. They had 13 wins in the month of March. They had 4 of the 5 leading scorers for the entire league in the month.
Up through the neutral zone, here's Tim Hayden, the defenseman. Fumbles the puck in the corner, wraps it around into the near side Zamboni door. Looking to clear is Zach Cafaro, and he does. Now George Hagley doing battle with Hayden. Tanner Smith bumped off the puck. He'll recollect on the sidewall. Going back up to the point, trying to shovel it back on in is Heiler. Heiler meets some resistance off a Danbury shin pad and rolling in on goal of Ethan Cavanaugh. Ethan Cavanaugh, Grant Goodson have really split the duties in New Jersey's net as a turnover results in a backhand shot by Brandon Cope, and Cavanaugh makes the first save of the game.
The New Jersey netminders have really what separates them from the rest of the pack because they have a really strong duo in net, Zach. As you mentioned, Goodson wowed us earlier this month with a flurry of high desperation chances in front, but Cavanaugh is just as good, has himself a .326 goals against and a .912 save percentage, which actually are better than their usual number 1 goalie in Grant Goodson. And I tell you, it's going to be a real test of Danbury's depth in this series right now to see if they can break through the netminder. New Jersey, they're very top-heavy on their forward cores. Their top line usually leads the way. For Danbury, it's a lot more of a team effort, a more complete 4-line unit for them, but they're missing one of their key players in Colby Donovan today, Zach, so it's going to be definitely who wants to seize the reins of hero in this weekend.
And I'm glad that you brought up the depth because Colby Donovan's the first name that comes to mind when you ignore the top line of this Danbury Junior hat tricks team. He's unavailable for this game, so you look at the other veterans like Brandon Cope, Nate Mastroni, and then the names go on as Connor Lefkoff, one of those veterans, comes in offsides. Faceoff will be in the neutral zone less than 3 minutes into the first.
It helps, Zach, that the Danbury Junior hat tricks have most of their veterans playing in the middle 6 roles. You have Brandon Cope, Dylan Weber, Nate Mastroni. They're all in the middle 6. The top line guys are actually the younger players, the rookies like Nick Cullinan. You have players that are in the middle that know their role. Colby Donovan is one of the captains of this team, so his presence on the team will be missed. But you have Kyle Madigan slotting in on that second line. He provides a real physical presence alongside Dylan Weber and Nate Mastroni. And Cope and Matti Torianen were a dynamic duo on that third line. There are 4 lines that you can really roll for the junior hat tricks and have some sense of scoring presence.
Earlier, you had mentioned how top-heavy New Jersey is. Of their entire roster, only 7 players had double digits in points. Meanwhile, for Danbury, that same number, 13 players. Racing up ahead is Jake Oldham. He'll pick up the puck at the New Jersey blue line. A shot into the glove of Ethan Cavanaugh. He'll hold on. And then some pushing and shoving after the whistle. You think this series is going to have a physical tone to it?
Well, both teams are going to want to assert their dominance in the early goings. There wasn't really much in terms of contact on the New Jersey netminder, but Jake Oldham gets a how do you do. New Jersey wants to let Danbury know that, yes, we're coming into your building and we're going to be in your grills all night long.
This is game one of a possible 3 between these two teams. Teams will meet again tomorrow, a 3 p.m. face-off down in New Jersey. Certainly hope that you'll tune in for that. Lots of hockey to play before we get to that point as Nick Cullinan gets dumped down at the blue line. Big hit thrown by Brett Bell. With speed, blowing a tire was Brandon Avazov. In support, Ian Helm, he gets it as far as the red line where Hayden sends it back into the New Jersey end.
Well, that's the quickest way to erase whatever presence you had established on the open ice. You throw a big hit, your bench starts cheering, all of a sudden you lose your footing, and the cheers go from yay to oh.
Usually you don't want to fall down, especially in front of the bench. Icing called against New Jersey. 3 minutes, 47 seconds gone by in the first. Both teams with a couple shots on goal, but still goose eggs up on the scoreboard.
Well, I tell you, mistakes like that are not going to happen very often for someone like Brandon Avazov. Leads the way with 64 points in 35 games for the team. He is such a difference maker every time he's out on the ice.
Cullinan with a wraparound attempt. Referee blows a tire. Cullinan picks up the puck. Behind the net, finds Mashar in the slot. A shot saved by Kavanaugh. Rebound pops out. Referee lost sight, and the whistle will be blown.
It's always marvelous to watch Nick Cullinan behind the end line because he has such strength power skating from side to side. He's able to take one stride and all of a sudden be on the other end of the net. That's what makes him so dynamic. He's able to try the wraparound move. He has vision, his head up the whole way to find Mashar in the slot. He has a multitude of options where your ordinary player would not necessarily have that same presence of mind.
Here's Madigan with a wrist shot saved by Kavanaugh. Weber sends it behind the New Jersey net. Just out of the reach of Madigan. Madigan using his body to shield the puck. Tries giving along for Mastroni too far. Now Jules Jardine looking to clear. Up for Byron. Byron gets it out of the zone. Thinking about pinching was Connor Lefkoff. Getting to the puck first was Tanner Smith. New Jersey regroups at their own blue line. Jardine's pass cut down at the red line. Weber gets it back into the Titans' end. Over 4 minutes gone by in a scoreless first period. Connor Lefkoff, Tanner Smith come together in the neutral zone. Smith gets the puck into the zone where Connor Brown wraps it around further for Mastroni. Mastroni gives a bump to Byron. Coming to help out is Torianen. Torianen off the far glass. Now collected by the Titans, sent in by, I believe that's Cone. And it goes into the Danbury bench. Faceoff will be in the neutral zone.
In terms of players to watch in this series, Zach, we're going to be talking about Avazov and Doucette a lot tonight, but in particular, Avazov, he has a 19-game point streak. That's among the longest in the NA3HL. And not only has he just collected, he's got an assist here and there. No, it's multi-point performances. Every single time he's out on the ice, it's a multiple shift. But I tell you, we were speaking earlier in the week with the Danbury netminders, Trey Hirschfield and Nathan Hadley, who are the expected tandem for this 3-game series. And both of them kind of have the same mentality of they're just another player out on the ice. You want to make sure that you know where they are on face-offs for set plays. But when they're entering into the zone, it's another player. You want to keep your head. You don't want to cheat when they're trying to shoot.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Casey, because not only is it just another player, this, at its essence, is just another hockey game. Yes, it's the playoffs. I know I've been excited since the moment I woke up today. I'm up here. I can only imagine how it feels down there. But at the end of the day, it's another hockey game. And I think the team that can remember that and stay true to their game has a great advantage.
I tell you, this team was mere hours away from their first playoff game last season when they were up taking on the Elmira Junior Soaring Eagles. And all of a sudden, that series was taken away from them by the global pandemic. And that was while they were on the bus. They literally had to hit the highway and bang a Yui.
That's true. They were about an hour 15 outside of Elmira, and certainly no love lost between Danbury and Elmira.
Not historically, no.
No, not so much, as a centering attempt goes off a New Jersey skate, goes all the way back down into the Danbury zone. Now Brandon Cope at center ice, turns it over. Tanner Smith back the other way. Smith hauled down, referee beckons play on. Hayden chipping one off the boards, too far for Westendorf. Hayden will get another opportunity. Smith right on the doorstep, forces him to turn it over once again. Hayden a third time. Will that be the charm? Connects with Cullinan. Cullinan out of the zone. Past the flex off the stick of Nick Byron and cycled back on in by TJ Stone. Over 6 minutes gone by in the first. Here's Nikita Kovalev, 200 feet away from where he really wants to be. Starting from behind the net. Kovalev threads a needle for Mashar. Mashar lost his stick as he ran into Tanner Smith. Kovalev in support. Kovalev in. Kovalev a shot. Great save Ethan Kavanaugh, and the faceoff will be to his right, but a shifty play by Nikita Kovalev.
That is dripping wet. That is disgusting by Nikita Kovalev as he enters in. Kovalev missed the final 4 games of the regular season after he tweaked his knee in the late goings of the regular season. He's fully rested and he's fired up. You could tell he had his head up the whole way and he had his motor running towards the net. That is a terrific movement, a great example of the stick work he's able to pull out of his pocket.
Oh, someone who can probably match him with the stick work is Ian Helm. Helm sends one off the glass. Racing after this is Brandon Avazov. He gets there first. A centering attempt gets lost in the skates of Cole Madzy. Now Avazov again. Falls down on the play. Madzy chips it along, and here comes Nick Cullinan out of the zone. Connects far side with Misha Mashar. Mashar at the red line will dump it down deep. Kovalev in pursuit. A centering attempt goes through the middle of a slot. Nobody home wearing a white jersey. Back the other way. Here's Kyle O'Neill to the outside. O'Neill picks up Doucette. Across. They score! Bar down. New Jersey leads it 1-0.
Doucette is waiting on that right wing. You can't give that line too many odd man rushes. Avazov leads the way up the center of the ice. He dishes to his left to O'Neill. And at that point, it's just a matter of tic-tac-toe. Perfectly executed, looking clinical on that play. Hadley down and out. Doucette lurking for it. He gets his 21st total goal of the season, his first of the playoffs. And there it is, Zach, that top line back to work.
Back to work, and what a shot by Doucette. Off the, these crossbars were recently painted. I don't want to see too many pucks going off them like that.
Well, for Doucette, that extends his goal-scoring streak as well to 4 games. He entered into the regular season with a 6-game point streak.
New Jersey with the 1-0 lead, 7.5 into the first period. Goodman sends it down deep. Kavanaugh will get a glove on it. He'll hold on. Faceoff will be to his left. And for New Jersey, a shot of confidence. They've lost their last 4 games coming into this one.
Not only is it a shot of confidence, but it's also a little bit of doubt creeping into the opposing netminder. Nathan Hadley doesn't really have a feel for the puck yet. I don't believe he's had a save yet in this game. That first shot on goal found Twine. So at that point, we've gone 7.5 minutes into the first period, and you still don't have a rhythm going yet.
Well, Danbury is getting the offensive opportunities. Ethan Kavanaugh has been perfect so far. Now here's Justin Heiler off the boards to the Danbury blue line. Back the other way, Bryce Wallace sends it down deep. This goes behind the net of Kavanaugh, collected by Jardine. He connects quickly up ahead. New Jersey's able to break on out. Dipping his shoulders, Nate Biron, a centering attempt. Now a backhand shot by Biron, never made its way through to Hadley. Picked up by Kyle Madigan. Madigan looking to clear, turns it over at the blue line, swiped back in by Sabatini. Hadley will leave it behind his own net. Nate Mastroni on the far side. Weekly tried sending it off the glass, gets as far as the New Jersey blue line. Justin Cohn into the referee's crease, taken away by Dylan Weber. Weber tries giving back to Wallace, went behind him. So Wallace wraps one off the boards. Madigan's able to clear. And Casey, Danbury's having some real trouble in the neutral zone right now.
They're playing on their heels, and whoever controls the neutral zone will dictate the tempo of the game. And I think a lot of that right now just comes from general battle level. You saw the top line for Danbury generating a lot of offense. They kept their feet moving. Right now, the second line has been caught a little bit flat-footed.
Lucas Salas gives back to Kona at the point. Kona shot into the breadbasket of Nate Hadley. He'll hold on. Hadley then gets a poke from Jake Spangler, and a couple Danbury defensemen come on by, but Spangler will get back to his bench unscathed.
Well, Hadley shoots the death glare from his own crease, and normally Hadley is very even-keeled. You don't normally see him jawing too much. Hadley is very excited to play in his first real taste of postseason play. He played a little bit at Anoka High School in those Minnesota high school state playoffs, which, if you know Minnesota at all, you know that the high school playoffs are a big, big deal. And while he had himself a 31-save performance, his team lost 2-0. So he's never had a playoff win in his career yet. So he's very excited to be between the pipes.
For those of you who don't understand Minnesota high school hockey, as this puck gets forced deeper into the Danbury end, they sell out the Xcel Center, where the Minnesota Wild play an 18,000-seat stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota. It gets sold out for the high school championships and really for most of the high school playoff games there. It's crazy.
Not only that, you also have the All-Minnesota Hair Team as well, which has taken off on social media. You have all these players for hours in the locker room before the game primping and preening.
I couldn't imagine spending that much time on my hair, especially before a playoff game, as Westendorf sends one in on goal. Kavanaugh holds on for a face-off to his left.
Look, sometimes if you're not going to win the game, you at least want to look good for the camera. And speaking as someone who did have hair down to their shoulders in high school, I understand that may be hard for you to believe, but I can tell you hair care is important.
Was it bleached as well?
Oh, no, I didn't go that far, but, it's...
you wouldn't even be on the JV hair team up there.
Oh, absolutely not. You have not only guys that put product in their hair to make it poofier, but longer. They have curls. They have some of them etched designs into the side of their head like they're Anthony Mason. It's extra. It's very extra.
Don't these guys know there's a playoff game?
Look,
high
style.
schoolers.
It's all about the style, Zach, as the kids say.
Yeah, I'm a couple years removed from that. First line on the ice for Danbury as Kovalev sees this face-off won by Philip Doucette. Now 3-on-2, 3-on-3 come the Titans, trying to work his way towards the front. Avazov, his pass intended for Doucette, broken up. At the point, it's Cone, puck on his backhand. Shoveled into the corner, out of the reach of Bell. At the blue line, here's Salas, sent back down low. Working with it, Avazov. Avazov taken down by Lefkoff. No call coming. Cullinan off the boards, out into the neutral zone. Chasing after this is Doucette. He wraps one off the boards, off a skate, and now here's Bell the other way. Drops off Avazov. Avazov turning at the blue line. He'll flip it into the corner for Bell. Bell tried giving it back to Jonas Sabatini. And right now, the Titans are finding their passes all over the place.
They are. They're connecting tape to tape, and leading the charge on that particular shift was Lucas Salas, who's only playing in his third game as a member of the Jersey Titans. He's bounced around this season.
Here's Cullinan, a shot, misses high and wide.
He played for the New Jersey Titans 18U squad. He played for the Protec Junior Ducks in Jersey in the Eastern Hockey League, but he hasn't found a permanent home yet, but here he is taking crucial shifts.
Goodman, fresh off the bench, picks up a pass from Cullinan, a shot swallowed up by Kavanaugh. Oldman shoved down in front of a net. He wants an explanation from the referee, and I assume it's going to be something along the lines of this is playoff hockey. It's going to have to be more than that.
Yeah, Oldham, he normally plays with a little bit of grit, a little bit of an edge to his game, and this is the second time we've seen him tied up with a New Jersey Titan in front of the netminder. Going back to the shot from Goodman, though, that's the right idea because he shot low, shot 5-hole, and you could see Kavanaugh juggled with it ever so slightly as it went into his padding. That's a show-me shot. That's a test of his rebound control in the first period of this game because, again, Kavanaugh has also been protected for the most part in this first period.
Kavanaugh also didn't play for about 34 days in a row. As a quick shot again by Goodman. Save the rebound in front. Bepko gets robbed by Kavanaugh. What a save, Ethan Kavanaugh, and he keeps it a 1-0 game.
And you could see Bepko put his hands on his head, and he has a big smile on his face. But that's the right idea for the Danbury Junior Hat-Tricks. Again, this is an early test for the netminder, and it rolls in and out of his glove. He's got his glove on the ground, and it rolls up his arm, and the puck is loose in the blue paint. It takes every ounce of desperation for Kavanaugh to reach out to his left and stymie that with his glove. It's a terrific rebound save in terms of desperation and positioning and staying within the play, but it's the right idea for Danbury in crashing the net.
And perhaps even better for Danbury. That's their fourth line, causing that offensive pressure. Another icing call against New Jersey. And we'll get to see the line of Weber, Madigan, and Mastroni with another offensive zone faceoff.
Kavanaugh this season was 2-2 against the Danbury Junior Hat-Tricks. He had a 6-6 total record on the year. And you said, Zach, he had a little bit of difficulty down the stretch. He had one game back on the 28th where he was able to shut down Bay State for 41 minutes. But other than that, he hasn't allowed less than 3 goals in a game going all the way back to February 9th. He's had some difficulties.
Right now, he has been perfect as he leaves his puck to the side of the cage for TJ Stone. Stone up ahead further. Avazov sent back into the New Jersey end. Stone will try the far side. Helm will dummy it along out of the zone. Doucette doing battle with Madigan. Madigan wins this one but lost possession of the puck. Now Madigan and Avazov come together on the sidewall. In support, Doucette gets it a bit deeper. Wallace, the BBD product, gets it around for Mastroni. Weber is able to clear right onto the stick of TJ Stone. New Jersey in the middle of a change, and Joe Melillo gets it back down deep.
There was intense eye contact on that shift, Zach, between Madigan and Avazov. They got tied up and they were nose to nose.
A couple times on that shift. Justin Cohn turning with it once again. Cohn, the defenseman, stripped at the blue line. 3-on-3 comes Danbury into the New Jersey end. It's Westendorf sending one through the slot. Nobody there for Danbury. Torianen has the puck knocked off of his stick. Cameron Pape able to get it as far as the red line.
Gutsy pinch there by Cole Madsey. He doesn't have anyone behind him recuperating.
No, and Madsey needs to be aware of who's on the ice because New Jersey has a couple speedsters out there. Here's Madsey playing it off the boards. Pass intercepted by Kyle O'Neill. He's canceled out by a pair of hat tricks. Pair of hat tricks, that'd be nice.
You would think. That's a not too shabby a day at the rink.
Torianen chipping one off the boards, meets up with Salas. They come together in the corner. Torianen with the puck in his skates, lost control. Here's Hayden keeping it alive at the point, but only for a moment before George Hagley is able to clear.
You know, when talking about Cole Madsey taking that chance and not knowing who was behind him on that play, he's partnered with a player who, similar to what we were talking about with New Jersey earlier, Tim Hayden's only playing in his third game with Danbury. He's an immaculate high school product who's joining the team late in the season, who's now getting paired on the top pair with Cole Madsey.
Well, big expectations for Tim Hayden as Cullinan has the puck in the corner behind the net. Sends it around into an empty area. Nikita Kovalev will get there first. Nick Byron there to greet him and clear the puck out of the zone.
Byron read that move the whole way.
Hayden. Now Cullinan. Cullinan tries to get around the defense of Justin Cohn. Cohn did a nice enough job of separating Cullinan from the puck. Now Hayden from the neutral zone, in and out of the glove of Kavanaugh. Cullinan picks up the rebound. Kavanaugh makes the save. And then again, the referee losing sight of the puck. Faceoff will be in the Titans' end with 5:55 to go in the first.
Well, another shot, Zach, that goes in and out of the catching glove of Kavanaugh. He's proven he's a little bit fallible, but right now he's doing such a good job of staying within the play and getting his body in front. They don't always have to be the prettiest of saves. You just have to make sure they're saves. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
Well, he saved, no pun intended. Well, maybe a little pun intended. The best one so far against Aiden Bepko. Offensive zone faceoff for the hat-tricks, and it's Cullinan going back up to the point. Connor Brown a shot. Again bouncing around in front. It trickles wide. Helm with the puck on his backhand looking to clear. He reverses behind the net. Now he'll have an extra second. He'll flop it out of the zone. Trying to get on his horse is Zach Cafaro. He beats out the icing call. Does not beat out Connor Lefkoff. Cafaro managed to get a stick on it. Now Helm a shot. That's blocked. Backhand one-timer off the stick of Jonas Sabatini was blocked as well. TJ Stone goes off of a Danbury leg and flipped back in by Cullinan. Here's Stone again with 5 1/4 to go. Pass too far for Biron. Hadley out of his net, so no icing on the play. Connects up ahead with Cullinan. Fed along further for Misha Mishar. Jardine breaks that up. Oldham off the bench. Trying to get the puck into the New Jersey zone. He does. Not as deep as he wanted. D to D they go. Titans able to clear from the red line. Brett Bell sends this in. Interesting bounce off the far corner. Now a centering attempt. Shot. They score! Brandon Avazov. 2-0 Jersey.
And that stunned Danbury, that entire play. It's wrapping around the kick plate to the far side, and there's a door there at the far side corner. And that door provides some wonky bounces, similar to the near side corner of the left side of your screen. When it rolls along the kick plate like that, it bounces out to the slot. And even though Hadley squared himself to the shot, he was too far out of his cage. He didn't have a sense of how deep he was. So he has to readjust on the fly, and the pass to the slot leaves a yawning net mouth. It's difficult to beat Hadley through his long legs, but Avasov makes no mistake, picks the far side post. That's a wonky play and an unfortunate turn of events. And it's not the first time that we've seen a big goal off of that particular corner in this arena, Zach.
That is absolutely correct, Casey. Was it Carter Shinkarik with the goal?
It was Shinkarik against the Elmira Enforcers back on December 28th of 2019.
Gosh, it sounds so long. It feels so long ago.
It's so crazy that it could be so fresh in your memory, though, that it happens like that, and you all of a sudden look and say, 2019, that was over a year ago. Oh, no.
It really was. But with 4 minutes remaining in the first period, the New Jersey Titans have a 2-0 lead. Perhaps no surprise, the goal scorers, Philip Doucette and Brandon Avazov. Here is Lucas Salas being pestered by Nate Mastroni. In support, Torianen wrapped around to the near side wall. Hayden coming together with Kyle O'Neill. Behind his own goal line, Melillo canceled out. Cone in support. Now Justin Cone taking it out of the zone. Over center red into the Danbury side of the ice. Offsides is called as Lucas Salas got ahead of the play. Face off in the neutral zone with 3:31 to go in a fast-moving first period.
I don't know if the anticipation was there for the Danbury defense. They thought that Joe Melillo was going to dish it off. Melillo just shakes and bakes past two different Danbury defenders. You have to be tougher to play against in the neutral zone than two flying poke checks as you're skating by. Those were very half-hearted attempts to knock the puck free from Melillo, and Melillo says, I'll take whatever space you give me, and that gave them a 4-on-2 rush. Danbury's very fortunate that they were offsides.
Off the ensuing face-off, it's Brett Bell doing battle with Connor Lefkoff behind the cage. Bell maintains possession, gives back to the point. A bouncing shot off the stick of Tanner Smith, or check that, Jules Jardine, into the glove of Nate Hadley, and Hadley will have a face-off to his left.
You know, Kevin Cunningham before the game was talking about how he wanted to make sure his team didn't just take for granted that they were going to outshoot New Jersey. Because generally speaking, the junior hat-tricks are very good on possession, especially against New Jersey. So far, the Titans have really taken it to them in the possession aspect of the game.
And I'm noticing for New Jersey, players like Salas and Cone, Danbury hasn't really seen them here before.
Not really, no. So there's a lot of an unknown element.
Here's Machar with a shot deflected out of play. That went off a New Jersey defenseman's stick and then off the butt end of Kavanaugh's goal stick. Faceoff will be to his right.
Yeah, that was a back-checking Tanner Smith that was back in front of Misha Machar on that left wing. And Machar plays a little pinball action. It goes off a defensive stick, and Kavanaugh reaches up with that right arm. That's great awareness, and he just gets it with the butt end.
As you mentioned, the goalies, they don't care how they stop it, as long as they do. Here's Jardine getting the puck out of the New Jersey zone. Avazov has Doucette with him. Lots of stick handling. Cycled down low for Brett Bell. Bell now behind the net. Draws a pair of Danbury defenders, taken off of his stick by Wallace. Wallace turned around, sent in on goal, and Hadley has to hold on.
That's the pressure that New Jersey has been bringing, though. They're so speedy on their forecheck. Again, this is something that you can't take for granted. This is a Jersey team that is fired up. They recognize that they fell in, they backslid into the playoffs, and they were hungry to make a statement that they're more than just their top line. They're more than the 3 seed in this division. And we were speaking with a couple of junior hat-tricks, Zach, and all of the sentiment is the same up and down the roster. This division is anyone's to win. I think that Jersey is recognizing that as they start to build up some confidence.
Oh, building up confidence, building up momentum as well. 2:25 to go in the first period. Titans lead 2-0. Here's Dylan Weber under pressure behind the net. Shrugs off the New Jersey stick, gets it out of the zone, gets it as far as the red line before Ian Helm steps up. Now Kyle Madigan for Nate Mastroni. Mastroni turned around by Helm. Now Ian Helm looking to gain some speed. Dylan Weber cancels him out as a pair of 9s come together. Mastroni sends one off the referee. Flipped back into the Danbury zone, and Cole Madzi will look to break out. Mastroni for Madigan. Back for Mastroni. Mastroni met by Helm at the blue line. Ian Helm taking it the other way. Over the hat-tricks logo at center ice. Bounces off of a check from Westendorf. Madzi managed to knock it off of Helm's stick. Torianen drops back for Madzi with 90 ticks to go. Another interesting bounce off that corner board results in a centering attempt by Hagley. And then looking to alley-oop it in front was Nate Biron.
And Hayden makes a diving effort in front of the net to poke that away. That's great stick work there.
Tim Hayden now with 75 to go in the period. His pass too far from Mastroni. This should be icing. There's the whistle. And with 1:09 to go and some tired legs on the ice, New Jersey will have an offensive zone faceoff.
This line has been pinned in their own end, Zach, and right now with 69 seconds left in the first period, it's all about just trying to get to this intermission and surviving without another scoring chance against, because right now they've been thoroughly outskated.
They've been outskated. They've been outplayed. Philip Doucette steps in for the faceoff. He's got Brandon Avazov in the shooter's position. Westendorf for Danbury. 50-50 draw. Westendorf managed to get it out of harm's way, not out of the zone. Pass across, and Doucette fans on it. Oh, Philip Doucette had an empty net to shoot at. Bell in front, saved by Hadley. Rebound cleared out of danger.
You said empty net. I don't think that covers it, Zach. I think it was more than empty. It's a black hole.
Luckily, the puck was not affected by gravity. Here's Avazov, a shot saved by Hadley. Doucette looking to pick up the rebound. Torianen giving him some physical trouble. Doucette manages to maintain possession. Goes back to Salas at the point. 30 seconds to go in the period. Sending one off the boards was Cone. Looked like that was a bit of a designed play. Flipped up ahead by Lefkoff. Chasing after it is Brandon Cope. But again, icing is called against Danbury. And with 20.4 to go in the first, New Jersey will get yet another offensive zone faceoff.
Jersey is skating with the confidence of a team that's on a power play right now. That's how good they are at moving the puck around the perimeter. And this is a reversal of the script that we saw earlier this month, Zach. Ordinarily, it's Danbury that controlled the board battles, especially in their own zone. They were able to win them quickly and escape. Right now, New Jersey has completely changed their strategy, and they're a lot tougher moving the puck quicker.
20.4 to go. Jonas Sabatini on the draw against Matti Torianen. Torianen with a clean win. Westendorf behind his own net. Off the boards for Brandon Cope. 15 to go in the period. Cope lifts it as far as the New Jersey blue line. Jardine sending it back towards the Danbury end. Nate Biron maintaining possession. 3 seconds remaining in the period. 2-1. And that'll do it. At the end of the one, it's New Jersey tied at nothing apiece. Dylan Weber getting things started for Danbury. Brandon Avazov. Now here's Kyle Madigan in. Great save, Kavanaugh. Whistle has blown as the net, I believe, came off of its moorings, but Kyle Madigan looking to make an exclamation early on in this second period.
Skating out of the neutral zone faceoff like a bat out of you-know-where. Off the faceoff, and Danbury trotted out their second line to start this period. They're looking for a little bit of a different look, trying to juggle things a little bit, trying to make sure that their other lines get going from the jump.
And you notice 9 seconds into the second period, New Jersey head coach Andre Kapranoff pulls off his first line, puts out the second line of Tanner Smith, Nick Byron, and George Hagley.
Trying to get the matchups correct, Zach.
Here is Weber in the corner, chipping it behind the net. Tanner Smith will get to this puck first. He sends one off the glass, batted out of midair by Cole Madzi, right into the Danbury bench. Nice hand-eye shown by the defenseman.
Well, that's one of his strengths, Zach, as a player. He's trying to make sure that he's got the great hand-eye, the great stick-eye coordination. That's one of his best assets.
See, I was never good at baseball. I only got on base if I got hit, so.
Well, it's opening day yesterday, so you got to get back into the spirit.
I'll get in the spirit of having hot dogs and sitting in the inner loge.
I didn't need baseball to just pound back some hot dogs.
I'm just looking for the excuses. I got to be healthier in my old age. In the neutral zone, both teams' first lines out on the ice. Far side is Mashar. He scores! Misha Mashar! 2-1.
Well, it's Mashar to Kovalev on that far side. Nikita Kovalev came oh so close in the first period to potting one on a breakaway. This time it's Mashar in the neutral zone with a terrific takeaway entering in on the near side. He has to thread the needle between 3 different New Jersey sticks to get that pass through to Kovalev. That line has been electric, and we said at the top of the broadcast, Zach, that the top lines would have to match each other shot for shot and goal for goal. After New Jersey's top line gets a pair in the first, Danbury's top line answers back with one in the second, 44 seconds in.
For Nikita Kovalev, it's his first of the playoffs, 16th overall off the post and in. And I feel bad for the arena crew here in Danbury. These nets are brand new.
They're doing their darndest to chip some paint off.
Here's Nick Cullinan in. Cullinan a shot off the blocker of Kavanaugh and out of play as Danbury finally seems to have their offense in gear.
Well, this is the energy that they needed, and maybe they just needed a swift kick in the pants in between periods, Zach. We talked about respecting the playoffs before the game with head coach Kevin Cunningham because he sort of said in a quiet moment that I really hope these guys are ready for the moment and they're not overconfident because they have had some good fortunes lately, especially against New Jersey. And in the playoffs, it can turn at a moment's notice. It is a 2-of-3 series. So they could be done theoretically by Sunday. And you want to make sure that you're ready for the moment and you bring that energy.
Here's Cullinan attempting to feed Kovalev, cutting through the slot. Knocked off of his stick by Justin Heiler. Now Kovalev behind the net. Fights off Heiler, maintains possession of the puck. Sent into the far side. Machar chasing after it. Tanner Smith looking to clear. Cullinan cuts that down. Now Machar behind the net. Centers for Kovalev. A backhand shot trickles wide. Jardine behind the net. Takes a hit from Kovalev. Now Hagley looking to clear. Knocked down. Pass across. Cullinan shot save. The rebound goes off the side of the cage.
Kovalev, it rolled off of the heel of his stick on that play. He had a yawning net mouth, but a wonky angle.
Connor Brown finds Cullinan behind the net. Cullinan tries to cycle along for Kovalev. Referee in the way. New Jersey able to clear. What a shift by this top line of Danbury.
They did some damage, and also just to close off that play, Zach Connor Brown with a good closeout at the blue line to avoid a break-in for New Jersey.
Left call from the point. On goal, saved by Kavanaugh. Cullinan at the end of his shift gets dumped down in the corner. Now here's Westendorf, fanned on the shot. Cullinan tries going back to Lefkoff at the point. It deflects between the Danbury defense. Cole Madzy back the other way, finds Cope. Cope canceled out right in front of his bench by Tanner Smith. Cope now with the puck once again. Over center red and into the check that into the New Jersey zone. Torianen behind the net, meets with Heiler, a wraparound attempt, and Kavanaugh stretching all the way across, gets a toe on it.
You're starting to see Brandon Cope get a little more involved in the offense.
Back the other way, Hadley, the initial save, the rebound went off the stick of Brett Bell. Hadley makes that one as well. Another shot from the point, Hadley a save, and then on goal. Did that go off the stick of Madzy?
I believe it might have. Madzy got a piece of it, but it was Avasov reaching around with the backhand that got that shot on goal. You can't ever take a second for granted against this New Jersey team because that puck is sitting there in the blue paint waiting for someone to get a stick on it.
2 minutes, 57 seconds gone by in the second period. Gosh, has it been fun. Face-off won by Westendorf. Here's Hayden up ahead for Torianen. Torianen will chip it up ahead. Glove down by Justin Cohn. He'll send it back into the Danbury zone. Another strange bounce. That one off a glass stanchion.
That area in particular, that's another door located. That's an area for the referees to get on and off the ice at that far side.
They really should just airlift everybody in and out of this place.
That would certainly negate a lot of these bounces because right now the four-door areas, I should say, because there's another door behind the Danbury defending net right now where they come onto the ice to their locker room.
You know, I've seen the circus here. I know that this ceiling can handle that kind of dynamic load. Just wire everybody up, send them on in. It'll be like Tarzan on ice.
Get the Mission Impossible music going, have them dangling from the ceiling. I like this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
I am too. I'm glad that we came up with this, and I'm glad everybody at home is able to join us for this.
It'll be a completely new look entry for if Game 3 to the playoffs happens to come back here on Monday afternoon.
I mean, that's one heck of a home ice advantage if you ask me.
Have you ever seen the San Jose Sharks clip where Sharky the mascot enters from the ceiling?
Is this the one where he got stuck?
Yes, and eventually passes out from the vertigo of being up that high.
Oh, that's right.
That's gruesome to just see a limp, dangling shark hanging from your ceiling.
I thought we had banned that kind of trade already. 4:08 gone by in the second period. Danbury has answered with a goal. They trail by 1. Off the draw, it's Wallace at the point. Lots of time. Fans on the shot. Stolen away. And here comes Cameron Pape the other way. 2-on-1. Pape sends it across out of the reach of Kyle O'Neill. O'Neill sends it behind the Danbury net. Wojciechowski cancels out Pape. And what an opportunity for Cameron Pape, still looking for his first point of the season.
Pape has to be a little more selfish on that play. Cut to the net and take that shot on your own.
Helm drops it behind the net, wrapped all the way around by TJ Stone. This should be icing, but no, Hadley comes out of his cage, slows it down. Wallace for Wojciechowski. Didn't see too much of Wojciechowski in the first period. Bouncing puck through the slot. Madigan will come up with it. Madigan threads the needle up ahead for Dylan Weber, and he'll pitchfork one down deep. Behind the net of Kavanaugh, Mastroni awkwardly goes into the boards, helped there by TJ Stone. Looking to clear was Biron. Turned over, a shot by Madigan, handled by Kavanaugh. This one back up at the point. Lefkoff thought about the shot. Now distributes down low Mastroni. Mastroni finds Jamison Bain. Bain a shot. That's blocked. Standing up and giving up the body was Zach Cafaro. Not out of the zone. A centering attempt goes behind the cage. Madigan, a blind backhand pass, goes right onto the stick of Jonas Sabatini. Sabatini can't clear. Weber trying to go down low. Now a turnaround shot into the glove of Kavanaugh, and he'll hold on. 5.5 gone by in the second.
I want to reverse about 20 seconds in that sequence, Zach, because after the shot from Jamison Bain is blocked at the blue line, you have 3 New Jersey Titans up on the forward line. Connor Lefkoff is battling for the puck at the far side point, and he's holding on to it, and he has to get around a stick to keep it in the zone. Otherwise, that's a 3-on-0 coming the other way, because Jamison Bain was not yet back in position after taking that initial shot.
And to your point, as soon as that shot was blocked, all 3 New Jersey forwards turned up ice. So they were thinking exactly that. Pair of players for each team battling in the corner. Misha Mashar comes up with it, goes back to Hayden at the point. Hayden's shot was deflected, never made its way through. First line on the ice for both teams as Avazov sends it off the boards past Hayden. Doucette will get there first. Doucette and Hayden behind the cage. Kovalev for Cullinan. Nick Cullinan stick handles his way out of danger, chips it out of his zone, trying to connect up ahead with Misha Mashar. And now we're starting to see Danbury send that winger up high. Back the other way come the Titans. It's Avazov, pushed off by Kovalev. Kovalev tried to clear, kept in by Cone. Cone a shot, flutters wide of the cage. Now Doucette. Going down low, Avazov. Kovalev right there. Madzi in support. Avazov tries sending it off the back of the net. Madzi sniffed that out. Cone can't hold the blue line. Off the boards. Everybody overskates it. Eventually, it's Cole Madzi who connects with Cullinan. Nick Cullinan down low, picks up Kovalev. Kovalev has it roll off of his stick now. A swinging shot goes wide of the cage. Look out, here's Doucette. Danbury racing back on defense. Brandon Avazov into the zone, shoots one wide. Cullinan picks up that loose puck. Off the glass, Mashar waiting for it. Now it gets there. Gives to Cullinan, who has a bit more speed. Cullinan knocked off of his stick. Solid defensive play. 2 of them in a row by Tanner Smith. Bryce Wallace off the glass. Now here's Cullinan. Along for Westendorf. A shot deflects wide. Brandon Cope. Under pressure, slides one for Westendorf. Behind the net, Westendorf met by Heiler. Now Cope picking up the puck. Cope centering attempt off the skates of Torianen. Torianen tries centering it in front, flexed away. Lefkoff at the point. For Cope a shot, so that, and Kavanaugh sends it wide.
Westendorf was setting a screen in front of the netminder, Zach. It took his eyes away for a moment.
Here's Westendorf, sent down to the ice by Heiler. Wallace a shot into the chest of Ethan Kavanaugh. Wesley Westendorf gives a tap, and now he'll draw a crowd in the corner.
And Westendorf is surrounded by Titans after giving a little poke to the netminder. That's the energy that New Jersey is bringing. I'd like to see Danbury start to tangle a little bit after that. You have one of your players getting jumped in the corner. You've got to come to his defense.
You're absolutely right about that. And Monty Torianen and Brandon Cope were on the other side of the ice. By the time they got there, Westendorf had already separated mostly.
Mostly, but even still, you have to be rushing over to your team's defense. I understand that there's not fighting at this level. I understand that it results in a game misconduct. But at the same time, you have to make sure this New Jersey team has really taken the body in this game.
Sharp angle attempt by Madigan, swallowed up by Kavanaugh. Now, I am going to disagree with you a bit because the closest people to Westendorf are on the blue line. But if those defensemen cross the top of the circle, now the faceoff comes out of the zone.
Well, it's true, but even still, sometimes it's about the principle of the thing. This is the postseason, and you have to make sure that you're not going to be taken advantage of. I think that's true at any level of hockey. It doesn't have to be anything grandiose as a measure of sticking up for your teammate. Just a little something, just to let the other team know, hey, you can't just shove one of our players 3-on-1 into the corner.
Oh, Casey, when we take over a hockey club, I don't know where, but We'll have competing philosophies. It'll be great.
Hey, there's a coaching vacancy at the FPHL level right now. I say we take it.
Why not? You know, if New Jersey can get away with having dual coaches and Scott Stevens and Adam Oates, why can't Danbury?
We're basically Oates and Stevens in terms of caliber of play.
I believe it. Stevens would find himself on the penalty kill. Adam Oates not so much. As we have our first penalty in the game, getting stuck up high was Joe Malillo, and Kyle Madigan will make his way to the penalty box. I believe this will only be 2 minutes for high sticking.
Well, that's correct, and Kyle Madigan is no stranger to the sin bin. That is his 148th penalty minute of the 2020-2021 campaign. His first 2 of the postseason, and it's the first power play look for New Jersey. Special teams is going to be a big difference, and Zach, it looks like actually it will be a double minor.
So Madigan draws blood, and the New Jersey Titans draw a double minor power play. During the regular season, the Titans finished 16th overall in the league, converting on 24.6% of their power play opportunities. Danbury's penalty kill ended up third in the league, killing off over 85% of their penalties. So strength against strength, but gosh, you really don't want to give Brandon Avazov and Philip Doucette that much time with the man advantage.
No, and they'll have completing that unit on the left side, Brett Bell, who himself is a good power play player. He has 6 power play assists, which is tied for the team lead with Brandon Avazov. I mean, the 3 of them up front combined for 7 power play goals in this season. So they're lethal from any area of the ice. This is a big test right now for Cole Madze as the anchor of this penalty kill with Ryan Wojciechowski.
Justin Cohn and Jonas Sabatini complete the 5-man unit for New Jersey. Here's Cohn. He'll play catch with Bell. Given along for Avazov. Now Bell again. Cohn, his shot, knocked down in front, never made its way through as Hadley was looking the wrong way.
Terrific job by Wojciechowski to step up and get his stick in the lane there. If not for him, that's in the back of the net.
Madze with a long clearing attempt, chasing after his Kovalev. Kavanaugh out of his net, collides with Kovalev a bit. More pushing and shoving behind the play. Cohn took a shot up high. Meanwhile, puck is back in the Danbury zone as Brandon Avazov turns away from pressure. Cycles down low for Doucette. Further along, Bell. That draws Kovalev into the corner. Bell and Kovalev. Bell has the puck in his glove, drops it down, got away with a hand pass. Kovalev's lost his stick. Bell swings back to Cohn at the point. Now Bell again. Pass through the top of the slot. Avazov a drive blocked by Torianen, and Kovalev will clear.
It's a tricky play going back to that sequence with Kavanaugh in front of the net. That's a tricky play not just for the netminder but for the officials because you have contact with the forward in Kovalev and the netminder Kavanaugh.
This may be icing against New Jersey. There's the whistle. A rare mistake by this top line for New Jersey. And with 2:42 to go in the power play, Danbury will have a shorthanded offensive zone faceoff.
To finish that thought for a minute there, Zach, you also had Kovalev take a shot from Cohn in the defensive zone, and then Cohn got one back in retaliation. That's playoff hockey. That's the intensity that you want to bring, and that's a terrific rush for Kovalev, forcing Kavanaugh into trying to make a decision.
And, give credit to the officiating crew. They're letting them play. There's been some ticky-tacky stuff going both ways. It's all been clear. Only so far the one penalty against Kyle Madigan. Here's Tanner Smith into the Danbury zone. From behind the net, now along the sidewall, Weber is able to clear off the skates of Mastroni. Salas changing. Lucas Salas still under pressure. Mastroni manages to wink a couple more seconds off the penalty kill. New Jersey looking to break out. Here's Ian Helm. The rangy defenseman breaks into the Danbury zone. Mastroni giving him some trouble. Helm regroups, goes back to the point, tries playing catch with Nick Byron. Byron's pass too far. Tanner Smith looking for a loose puck in the corner. Now Byron comes in to help out as well. Connor Lefkoff for Danbury looking to dig it out. Cleared all the way down the ice. The first 2 minutes of the penalty has expired.
Danbury's doing a terrific job of collapsing in front of their netminder, making sure that no shots get through to Hadley right now.
Well, they're able to collapse because New Jersey isn't really shooting from the point yet. Here's Brandon Avazov turning away from pressure, looking for open space, tries threading a needle for Ian Helm, goes off a Danbury skate, and Jake Oldham's able to clear once again.
Yeah, that's been their modus operandi for the majority of this power play, is skating one direction and passing the other, trying to get it down low with a pass so that the distance from shot to goal is shorter.
Brandon Cope, another clear. Under a minute to go on the New Jersey power play. 2-1 your score with 8.5 to go in the middle frame. At the blue line, Jake Oldham forces a turnover. Everybody wondering where the puck is. Eventually, Jonas Sabatini finds it, and Sabatini, while falling down, gets it as far as the red line. Now here's Avazov. Avazov pushed up against the wall. Brandon Cope there to help out. Onto the stick of Misha Mashar, and now Cope with some possession at the red line. Tries dropping it off for Wojciechowski. Strange play. 3-on-1 coming back the other way. It's Bell. Dropped off Cohn. Cohn a shot deflected wide.
Bell got a piece of that in front of Hadley. If you're Cope and Bouchard there, you have to get that puck in deep.
Yeah, unexcusable not to clear it all the way down. Icing called against New Jersey, the second time on this power play. And with 15 seconds to go in the man advantage, Danbury's almost out of the woods.
Almost. If only just for a moment bailed out by their netminder, Hadley. You have two forwards in the neutral zone there, and they're playing pitch and catch with each other, which is all well and good, but you have the puck along the red line on that near side, and instead you're dropping it back to your defender. Unless your defender is deep in the defensive zone, and that's a safety play to try to kill off some more clock, you have to get that puck in deep.
5 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Bell dumping it down deep. Off the Zamboni corner, into the far side wall. Kovalev is able to clear. Fresh out of the box is Kyle Madigan. Madigan needs to be careful he doesn't take another penalty right away as the puck gets flipped out of play. Call it about 15 rows below us. Actually went through some of the sheeting here that's blocking off certain rows.
It is nice to see some fans back in the building, though, taking in their first dose of playoff hockey. A good crowd on hand.
One of the bigger crowds that the NA3 has seen in Danbury so far this season. Here's Tanner Smith with the puck. A centering attempt had to go through a forest of legs, and they got lost. Back the other way. Here's Cullinan. Softly for Machar. Machar was expecting it coming from the other direction. Now Machar with the puck finds Cullinan. Cullinan sends it into the near side corner. Kovalev will get there first. Kovalev cycles back Machar. Machar for Kovalev. A shot saved by Kavanaugh. He'll hold on, but a solid offensive zone setup by Danbury.
Well, yet another terrific shift from that top line, and Kovalev is buzzing right now, Zach. He's really anchoring that top line and shooting from every angle. The thing about this top line is that they always keep their feet moving, and they're always swapping positions. They're rotating on the cycle so well to where you can't truly mark them in one specific spot. It's all very dynamic. That's what the best offenses are in hockey, Zach. They're always in motion.
That's a good point. Dylan Weber looking to keep that momentum going on this offensive zone faceoff. Won it for Mastroni. Mastroni a bit handcuffed on the shot. It trickles in on goal. Kavanaugh will get a glove on it, and we'll do it all over again to his left with 7:02 to go in the second.
The key now is to follow up that strong offensive shift from the first line with equally productive shifts from your middle lines right now.
And we saw the fourth line start getting something going late in that first period. We haven't seen too much of them here in the second, but you mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. It's going to be the depth that is so important in this series as this puck comes all the way down the ice. Nate Hadley can't take a chance. Faceoff will be to his right with 6:44 to go.
And you see overlooking, speaking of depth, in that far side corner, you see Colby Donovan overlooking the action, watching his line mates right now. Sitting next to him, Zach, a former Danbury Colonial and Shane O'Brien.
Shane O'Brien, last year's starting goalie, and he'll get a bit of Danbury joining him at Nichols College next year, as that's where Brandon Cope has committed. Here is Mastroni off the draw. Playing one off the boards, now trying to outrace Jules Jardine. Jardine gets there first, can't get it out of the zone. Weber a shot off the glove of Kavanaugh, it goes wide. 6.5 to go in the second. Here's Jardine, the defenseman. His shot goes wide. Sabatini tried to keep it deep in the Danbury zone. No sale there as Connor Brown's able to flip it out. Mastroni gets a stick on the breakout pass, helped back in by Biron. Cleared out of the zone. Mastroni and Biron come together again. And this is going to be a penalty against New Jersey. Nate Biron will sit 2 minutes for slashing. And we get to see Danbury's power play for the first time in the playoffs.
And the Danbury power play was highly successful against New Jersey down the stretch, Zach. We saw multiple power play goals in 2 different games in the final 2 weeks of the season for Danbury. And the way that they're able to do that is once they're into the zone, again, cross-slot passes. In particular, it's the Cullinan to Kovalev connection that they have on that first line. So they have Dylan Weber winning this faceoff, but they have Cullinan now at the point.
Cullinan and Lefkoff on the blue line for Danbury. Machar, Weber, and Kovalev up front, completing the 5-man unit. It's Connor Lefkoff 200 feet away behind his own net. Here they come. Lefkoff up ahead for Kovalev. Kovalev has the puck knocked off his stick at the New Jersey blue line. Lefkoff swings it along for Cullinan. Cullinan didn't like what he saw, gives back to Lefkoff. And this is a problem that we saw Danbury have towards the end of the year, breaking into the zone on the power play.
And right now, Justin Cohn is doing a great job of spotting up in front of these attackers as they break into the zone. He's an experienced junior defender. He comes to the Jersey Titans from the NCDC Utica Junior Comets. So he's got some terrific junior hockey experience to where he knows where to be positioned. And you see him tying up a stick right there in Kovalev.
Yeah, taking the stick right out of Nikita Kovalev's arms. Kovalev wanted a call. There's none coming. Minute gone by on this Danbury power play, their first of the game. Cullinan from the red line flips this one behind the net. And Helm will get there first. Wojciechowski keeps it alive in the zone, and then Wojciechowski's pass intercepted, taken out by Brandon Avazov, and Avazov will send it all the way down. Hadley with 40 to go on a Danbury power play. Here's Brandon Cope. He'll do it himself from behind his own net, now crossing into the New Jersey zone. Top of the circle, he stops, looks for an option. Cope in the corner, has Madzi at the point. In front of the net for Danbury is Ryan Wojciechowski. Here's Madzi sending one deliberately wide. He was looking for the deflection. Mastroni picks it up. Mastroni at the top of the umbrella. His shot punched aside by Kavanaugh. Rebound in the corner. Helm able to dig it out, cleared all the way down. 5 seconds to go in New Jersey with a very solid penalty kill.
Look at the work that TJ Stone was doing in front of his own netminder to get Wojciechowski out of the crease. That's a terrific clear.
Madzi up ahead for Madigan. Chipped into the zone, wide of the cage, behind the net. Madigan overskates it. Mastroni will pick it up. Mastroni giving along Madzi. Across Lefkoff. Lefkoff a shot. Blocked in front of a net. Loose in front of the cage. Now Lefkoff again. Back to Madzi. Madzi thinking shot. Right in front of him, a New Jersey defender. Shot eventually was blocked. Helm gets taken down by Madigan. Once again, Lefkoff keeps it in the zone. This time, New Jersey able to clear. Lefkoff cuts down the pass in the neutral zone. Important job, too, is that New Jersey was looking at a 2-on-1. Another penalty coming up against the Titans. This time it will be hooking. And with 3:28 to go in the second, Danbury will go on to their second power play.
That's a hectic sequence right there because you could call a number of penalties in that particular sequence. Kyle Madigan took a stick up in his chin. Could have called a high stick. Madigan in retaliation gets his stick underneath the legs of Ian Gonzalez's helm. That could have been a trip. Finally, a whistle blows when Connor Lefkoff is trying to enter into the offensive zone and gets a stick to the midsection. You talk about how referees are generally letting them play in this afternoon. You're starting to see it get called a little bit tighter, and after 3 different plays where something could have been called, the whistle has to blow eventually.
So 3.5 to go in the second. Danbury 0 for 1. Here is Cullinan. Switching spots with Lefkoff. Shot, a rising shot off the shoulder of Kavanaugh. Cullinan looking to keep it in the zone. He cannot. Doucette clears. Up ahead for Brant Bell. Bell knocked off of his stick by Lefkoff. New Jersey plays it back to the defense and cleared into the Danbury zone.
And that rush was almost generated by New Jersey because you have Cullinan a forward at the point. He wasn't entirely comfortable knowing when to pinch.
It's Cullinan with the puck once again, this time caught up in his skates. Again, he has some trouble with it. Cleared out towards the neutral zone by Bell. Cullinan this time goes far side for Kovalev. Kovalev off the linesman's skates. That gets a Bronx cheer from the New Jersey bench. Machar nearly turns the puck over. Kovalev will pick it up. He'll try and settle things down with 65 seconds to go on the power play. Now Cullinan looking for a shot just wide. He had Machar on the back door. At the point, Lefkoff again. For Cullinan, a one-timer, he scores! A power play goal! And we're tied at 2.
I think this is deflected in front by Dylan Weber, Zach. It's a bomb from the blue line by Nick Cullinan. Gets a shot on goal. They keep peppering Kavanaugh with shots. That's the trick. You have to keep getting putts to the neck, and they were able to get traffic in front and take the goaltender's eyes away. Kavanaugh generally has been doing a very good job of tracking the puck through traffic. In that particular case, you have Dylan Weber, who's a big, lanky body in front, keeping his stick on the ice. I think he gets a piece of it. I think this goal will be his.
We'll await the official call as Dylan Weber was causing all sorts of trouble in front of Ethan Kavanaugh. And after a horrendous first period with 2:15 to go in the second, Danbury has drawn even. Looking for more are the Tricks. At center ice, overskating the puck is Hagley. Racing ahead and trying to get a handle on it was Nick Byron. He was in the penalty box for the last one. Here comes Torianen, sending it down deep. And Helm gets there first. Helm, one hand on his stick, ridden into the boards by Torianen. Flipped out of the zone. Madigan, or check that Mads, he can't knock it down. George Hagley, a shot, knocks Tim Hayden's stick out of his hands. That puck might have ended up in Bridgeport if not for the protective netting.
If nothing else, you have a fan behind the net in a Danbury Trasher uniform who saw a very expensive souvenir flying his way.
Well, you know, with all the people in the arena, and I say all the people, it's maybe 100 people tops. That puck in section 206, it's not there.
Well, now with more people filtering in and out of the building, you have a few more fans that are hungry for a little memorabilia.
Why not? Here's Madigan able to get the puck out of the zone. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Madigan in. Madigan a shot, and getting a stick on it was TJ Stone. Now Madigan another shot. Cavanaugh directs it into the corner. Mastroni picks up the loose puck. Swinging it back behind the net for Madigan. Falling down on the play was Salas. Madigan capping on. Now they score! Nate Mastroni! 3-2 Danbury!
That is a simply awesome shift from Kyle Madigan, making that entire play happen. He carries in on the offensive on the far side, and his shot attempt was partially blocked. It winds up being an errant pass for Nate Mastroni. He keeps the play alive in the corner. Weber is spotting up in between the hash marks. He head fakes like he's going to dish to him, sending the defender towards the slot. That opens up the goal line. Madigan cuts to the net, gets the shot on goal, backdoor pass for Nate Mastroni. In the right place at the right time. Mastroni, we talked about it all season long, Zach, how he loves to position himself in front of the net, gets another dirty goal for the junior hat-tricks.
Nate Mastroni has had two separate periods during this season. One 11 games, one 13 games, where he hasn't scored a goal. He has been on fire these last 3 weeks for Danbury, and now he gives Danbury their first lead in the playoffs. Looking for more of the tricks as it's Lefkoff at the blue line. 45 seconds to go in the period. Lefkoff a drive, saved by Cavanaugh. Cullinan looking to get it back to Lefkoff once again. In the way, Tanner Smith. Smith trying to muscle it up the boards. Taken away by Kovalev. Lefkoff, D-to-D for Madsey. Fans on the shot. Helm in the corner with 28 to go. No pressure applied by Danbury, and so they're able to clear. Madsey knocks down a puck out of midair. Now here's Ian Helm again. Gaining speed into the Danbury zone, overskated the puck. Nick Cullinan's able to clear it on out. Misha Mashar will chase after it with 12 seconds to go. Mashar in the corner looking for reinforcements. Sends it down low for Kovalev. 6 to go in the period. Kovalev canceled out by Smith. A wraparound attempt saved by Cavanaugh, and he'll hold on with 1.5 seconds to go in the second period.
The junior hat-tricks are turning on the Jets, and Zach, the play that you have wanted to see all season long is finally coming to fruition. Hadley's going to the bench. The junior hat-tricks are going to have 6 skaters on the ice.
They'll have 6 skaters on the ice. They need a left-handed shot to take this face-off. You load up the slot and crash. It'll be Misha Mashar, the centerman. For New Jersey, stepping in is Joe Malillo. If I'm Malillo, I'm dropping to my knees and just trying to hold it. Off the draw, Malillo does just that. Taking a shot was Kovalev. Here, 20 minutes to play between Danbury and New Jersey. The winner of this game will be 1 win away from playing in the Eastern Division Finals. It's controlled by Danbury off the initial faceoff. Nate Mastroni will chase after it. TJ Stone for Helm. Further along for Bell. Madigan in pursuit. Doucette sends it down deep. This wraps all the way around the roulette wheel of the Danbury zone, actually all the way out into the neutral zone.
No one wanted to pick up the puck. It just kept rolling.
And especially on fresh ice like this, later on in the period, that's going to hit snow. That's going to slow down. Here's Nate Mastroni. Goes back to the point. Tim Hayden a shot. That was blocked. Standing in the way of that was Avazov. Puck in the referee's skates. Picking it out is Ian Helm. The 6'6" defender crosses the red line into the Danbury zone. Helm tries going inside out on Hayden. Hayden takes Helm down to the ice. Hadley unable to clear from his crease. Avazov gives down low. Bell under pressure from Hayden. Now at the point, Tanner Smith a shot. In front of a net, Helm, it went off of his skate into the corner, cleared out of the zone. Madigan will head off for an obedient change, and Justin Cohn will start things out from the New Jersey end. Here's Smith. Pass too far for Byron. Cullinan Sends it back down deep. Kavanaugh out, stops it behind his net. Sends it into the far side corner. Salas gets there first. Out into the neutral zone, picking up the loose puck is George Hagley. Hagley to the outside, cutting on in. He scores! George Hagley! And we're tied at 3.
Hagley makes that happen with a terrific motor. He picks up the puck at his own blue line, and he's off to the races. He's got a foot race against the Danbury defender, utilizes his speed. He's such a speedy player, Zach. That's his 9th goal of the season, carrying over from the regular season, his first of the postseason. And he's, what did I say at the end of the second period, Zach? Speed. That is going to be the key for the New Jersey Titans. And there they are, stretching out the neutral zone and making things happen.
Hagley beats Hadley to the 5-hole and managed to beat Connor Lefkoff to the outside. You don't say that too often. And you see, George Hagley and Brett Bell, I think, is the biggest adjustment that head coach Andre Kapranoff has made for New Jersey. As normally it's Hagley on the top line with Doucette and Avazov. They swap places with Brett Bell. Brett Bell perhaps a bit more defensively responsible. Here's Goodman as the fourth line is out for Danbury. Big hit thrown. Jake Oldham sends Zach Cafaro spiraling down to the ice. Icing will be called against New Jersey. And, well, Danbury, if they can't find the back of the net in the third period, at the very least they can throw the body.
Well, that's the kind of shift that you want from your fourth line. You want to be able to respond to a goal with a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a physicality. We don't see a ton of ice time for the fourth liner, so they have to make those minutes count. And to your point, Zach, about George Hagley, he's the kind of player that you can throw on any line and he'll succeed. He grew up through the Team Maryland elite system. And this is his first time out of Maryland. He's a native of Cockeysville down there. Played there from 14 to 18 years old. He's grown up in that system, and he's getting acclimated very well in the Titans system.
Well, if I want a crab cake recipe, now I know who to ask. Up ahead, it's Kyle O'Neill into the Danbury zone. Hayden watching him closely. O'Neill tries forcing his way towards the front of the net. Hayden does a good job of sending him behind. Loose puck picked up by Brandon Cope. Cope under some pressure. O'Neill providing it. Now Hayden with a bit more time. Madsey with plenty of time behind his own cage. You see New Jersey not as aggressive as they were early on in the first period. But George Hagley's first of the playoffs has tied things up early on here in the third. Madsey didn't see anything that he liked, so he just simply flips it out of the zone. TJ Stone waiting for it. Feeds up ahead, and now it's Jake Spangler. Spangler canceled out at the last moment. Bryce Wallace able to send him aside. Spangler, 27 games played in the regular season, did not record a point. Boy, would he love to get his first here in the playoffs.
It's all about depth, Zach. You have to have the hero mentality if you're on those middle lines or those depth pairings for New Jersey. The puck is going to bounce your way, and you have to be able to capitalize. The playoffs are all about who wants to be the most opportunistic with their chances.
5 players battling for the puck. Eventually it squirts on out onto the stick of Cameron Pape. Wojciechowski will send it back in. Here's Ian Helm. Not out of the zone. Kept alive by Wojciechowski. Mastroni knocked from behind. Wojciechowski keeps it alive at the blue line. Now Dylan Weber for Mastroni. Mastroni from a bad angle off the pads of Kavanaugh. Wallace gives back to Weber. Weber thinking shot. Takes it on goal. Deflected by Cullinan. And Kavanaugh with his pad flush with the ice makes the save. Flipped up. Knocked out of the zone by Spangler. Wallace will send it back in as both teams start to change. And Helm. Oh, danger in front, and Kavanaugh doing a snow angel makes a save. Nate Mastroni in the middle of it all.
Well, you have one of the shorter guys on the ice going against one of the taller guys on the ice, and Mastroni gets the better of him behind the end line. He's utilizing his center of gravity to lift the stick underneath of Helm and cause some chaos in front of the New Jersey netminder.
Ethan Kavanaugh had to be sharp. Speaking of folks who are sharp, congratulations to New Jersey head coach Andre Kapranoff and his son Dmitry Kapranoff, playing at Marlboro High down in New Jersey, just named the second team all-state goaltender for the truncated high school season. So congratulations to the Kapranoffs. Dmitry played one game for the Titans here not one that he wants to remember. It was against the Northeast Generals. He gave up 7 goals, but still, second team All-State. I mean,
hey, it's growth. It's growth. You can't just automatically go onto the ice and expect success because you had it at one level. He's growing. He's taking those steps. And, hey, when your dad's a head coach of an NA3HL program, that's that ladder of development.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Dmitry Kapranov manning the net for New Jersey next year. Here's Ethan Kavanaugh. Behind the net, Mashar gets taken down. Kovalev down to the skates as well. A centering attempt from his belly is intercepted by Cone. Now here comes Brett Bell. Off the boards intended for Avazov. Lefkoff meets Avazov as a pair of 19s come together. Loose puck in the face-off dot. Bell in support, keeps it alive at the blue line. Now racing after this is Nick Byron. He'll force it back deeper. 5.5 gone by in the third period. George Hagley has tied things up at 3. Tanner Smith has his stick lifted by Nikita Kovalev. Kovalev again losing his stick on the play. Boy, we're going to have to get some stickum on Nikita's gloves.
Like little giants.
Exactly. Hold on to that stick. 5:54 gone by in the third. We're tied at 3. Defensive zone faceoff coming up for the Tricks. Nikita Kovalev, a defensive zone faceoff. Against him, George Hagley, the most recent goal scorer. Hagley with the faceoff victory. Now Tanner Smith, shoved down from behind by Lefkoff. Play continues. Mashar pokes it past the New Jersey defender in support. Hagley breaks up what would have been a 2-on-1.
Terrific stick work there from Mashar to get it out into the neutral zone in the first place.
Madzi turns the puck over. Tanner Smith just as quickly knocked off of his way. Aiden Bepko doing some work up against Ian Helm. Helm with the glove to his stick. Helm now into the Danbury zone. Met by Jake Oldham. Oldham and Helm. Lefkoff jars it loose. Cafaro there as well for New Jersey. Now Sabatini. Lost possession of the puck. Out of the reach of Madzi. Bepko looking to clear. Gets it over the blue line. At the red line, Biron will send it back in.
That's a good play along the boards by Jake Oldham. Again, we talk about stature as Ian Gonzalez Helm was against the boards, and Oldham throws a check to knock the puck free.
It's not just the size of the body, it's how you use it. Looking to use his body is Drew Goodman, knocked off of his stick. At center ice, it's Wojciechowski. He'll send one wide of the cage. No icing on the play. Picked up by TJ Stone. Another big hit thrown by Jake Oldham. 2 on this shift. Back the other way, it's Jonas Sabatini. Sabatini knocked away by Wallace in front. They score! 4-3 New Jersey.
Bryce Wallace does a terrific job of running the New Jersey Titan forward against the boards. But it's a one battle in front. Have to get a better look at. I believe that's Cafaro in front of the Danbury net. Cafaro is doing battle against Ryan Wojciechowski in front, and he just outmuscles him. That's just terrific strength from Cafaro. And Cafaro wasn't a big goal scorer for the Titans in the regular season, but again, opportunity, seizing the moment. He uses his strength of his lower body to muscle his way through Wojciechowski. And he's able to slip it underneath the leg pads of Hadley. It's an uncharacteristic mistake for Hadley to let one through the pads like that.
Oh, with 7:40 gone by in the third, New Jersey has now scored twice in this period, and they hold the 4-3 lead. Torianen tries to connect with Cope up ahead, knocked down by Lucas Salas. Racing after this is Cameron Pape, knocked off his stick by Hayden. They come together in the corner. Malillo sends it back towards Pape. He was still tied up with Hayden. Now Torianen. Brandon Cope to the outside. Cope held from behind by Justin Cone. Cone gets away with one. A wraparound attempt by Torianen. Kavanaugh makes the save. Hayden can't hold it alive at the blue line. Brandon Cope doesn't know he's off sides, and there's the whistle as Cope still has his stick being held by Justin Cone, and the linesman will separate him.
Well, Cone is able to take the body and get his stick in the midsection of Brandon Cope. And again, we talk about how whistles can be called either way. There's no whistle on that play, so Cope retaliates, and he gets a stick to the face of Justin Cone. So you could easily call a retaliation penalty on Brandon Cope there, and they swallow the whistle, and they let them play. They let them sort out their differences in the offensive zone, but it negates a rush chance for Danbury.
Both these teams have had 2 power play opportunities. For New Jersey, it came on a 4-minute double minor. They are 0 for 2. Danbury, they are 1 for 2. Chipped into the zone by Philip Doucette. Haven't seen too much of Doucette and Avazov in the first half of this third period. I imagine that will change for the second half. Dylan Weber onto the tape of Kyle Madigan. Madigan at center ice, his pass too far from Mastroni. Jardine looking to clear with a little help from Brett Bell. He does. Now Bell in the neutral zone. Tried poking along for Doucette, intercepted by Connor Lefkoff. Danbury's leading scorer from the blue line chips one in on goal. Kavanaugh will hold on. And faceoff will be to his right with 11:08 to go in regulation time.
Well, you say the top line hasn't seen too many minutes in the third period here, Zach. Yeah, but they haven't needed them in the third period. It's all been the depth players that have made things happen for the Titans. And in that shift, you have Brandon Avazov cherry-picking at the opposing blue line, waiting for that pass to come through. At this point now, he can lie in the weeds and start to let his other players do the dirty work to try to get the insurance goal.
First line of Danbury out on the ice. Kovalev, Mashar, and Cullinan. They are matched by the second line of New Jersey of Byron, Smith, and Hagley. This was the line that got things going at the beginning of this period for the Titans. Flipped out of the zone by Cullinan, picked up by Mashar. Mashar with TJ Stone right in front of him, sends one off the glass. Kovalev in pursuit. A centering attempt, Mashar, a shot, he scores! Misha Mashar! We're tied at 4!
Energy, energy, energy behind the end line makes that play happen. It's a sitting puck over there by the tunnel door behind the net. It's one where Kavanaugh, he's kind of caught in between. He has to make a decision immediately whether or not he's going to play the puck. If he does go back there, he'd be able to shield the puck from the defender and probably wouldn't take contact from a Danbury player. Instead, he leaves it for his defender. He stays in his crease. He doesn't immediately jump. That leaves Danbury enough time to retrieve the puck behind the end line. The setup in front for Mashar, and Kavanaugh was moving post to post. I don't think he ever clearly saw the shot coming, Zach. It sneaks through the wickets, and we're tied at 4.
So Danbury has responded to the 2 goals by New Jersey. Now looking for more is Nick Cullinan. It's knocked off his stick. Tim Hayden on the pinch keeps it alive. Bad angle shot. Looking 5-hole on Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh with the stick on the ice makes the save. Cafaro unable to clear. Off the stick of Cone. Justin Cone plays it into an area intended for Sabatini. Sabatini gets it as far as the offside stop before Cole Madzi sends it back in. Now Lucas Salas at the blue line. Falls over. Wesley Westendorf. Salas down in front of a New Jersey bench manages to prevent Westendorf from getting it down the ice. Lefkoff will flop one into the glove of Kavanaugh, and both teams change. Tied at 4, under 10 minutes to play in regulation time. Zach McGinnis, Casey Bryant, folks, you guys tuned into a good one.
This is what playoff hockey's all about, Zach.
Connor Lefkoff looking to go behind the net. Coming up with the puck is Westendorf. Westendorf unable to clear. Wojciechowski goes back for Lefkoff once again. Lefkoff smoked out. Long pass intended for Westendorf at the blue line. That went off a pair of New Jersey sticks. Now Wojciechowski looking for a hit, but he gives up a 2-on-1. 2-on-1 the other way. Doucette scores! What a snipe! Philip Doucette, and it's 5-4 New Jersey.
A stretch pass for Westendorf is mishandled in the neutral zone, and that springs a rush coming the other way. Lefkoff is caught in no man's land. He's in between, doesn't fully commit to covering the pass, doesn't fully commit to the shot, so he's left tumbling in front of his netminder. And Hadley is beat cleanly by Doucette.
And it was Wojciechowski who went for the hit in the neutral zone. He got the hit, but he gave up the 2-on-1. And with Philip Doucette and Brandon Avazov out on the ice, you don't want to do that. But what a shot by Doucette for his second of the game.
Well, at this point, Jersey's top liners are imposing their will on Nathan Hadley. It's been an uncharacteristic performance where Hadley's been beaten clean a couple of times for someone who was in the conversation for goaltender of the month for the NA3HL level. But this has been a terrific showing from this New Jersey offense, and that's what happens when you get caught in north-south action like this, Zach. You get caught out of position, and all of a sudden you have a 2-on-1 rush the other way, and you cannot give that many opportunities to a New Jersey offense as potent as this.
So here's Tim Hayden. Danbury behind the 8-ball once again. Hagley sending it back down deep. Hayden picks it up. Swings back for Cole Madsey. I imagine the benches are going to shorten for both of these coaches with now 8.5 to go. Madsey flips it out of the zone outside the reach of Mastroni. Hayden collects, gives back to Madsey once again. Madsey has some trouble with it, so he'll reverse back for Hayden. Tim Hayden, long pass intended for Mastroni, too far. Icing is called, and the faceoff will come back down into the New Jersey zone. And Casey, I'm not sure if I like that pass by Tim Hayden, especially when he has lots of open ice in front of him.
It's more desperate than he has to be with 8:19 to go on the clock. He's trying to read the geometry off the boards and spring Mastroni in stride, but even if it finds the tape of Mastroni, he's got Stone standing right in front of him, so it's not going to be a breakaway. At that point, you have to take your time a little bit more.
Dylan Weber, an important defensive zone faceoff against Joe Malillo. Weber the faceoff win. Madigan clears it out. Puck doesn't have enough oomph for an icing call as Jules Jardine pitchforks one along the side wall. Turned over. Here's Madsey, the defenseman, providing the forecheck. Weber at the red line. Flips it back down deep. This lands behind the cage. Madsey again on the forecheck, throwing a hit. Pass far side. Here's Cameron Pape to the outside. Poked off of his stick by Madigan and cleared. In the neutral zone, Heiler sends one into the Danbury end. Ice, or rather offsides is called, and the faceoff will come outside of the New Jersey end.
With Madsey on the forecheck in the opposing end, it leaves Kyle Madigan on the back end as the defender, and he does a good job of running the Titan forward against the boards. That was Cameron Pape he's doing battle with along the wall.
And it's a heads-up play by Madigan as well to realize coming onto the ice, I need to cover for this guy. First line out once again for both teams. Here's Ryan Wojciechowski at the blue line. Off a New Jersey stick and into the Titans' end. Getting there first is Salas. Cullen in there as well. Here's Kovalev trying to poke it back to the point. Lefkoff can't hold the blue line. Racing after this is Brandon Avazov. Ryan Wojciechowski there can't get it out of the zone. Now Doucette with a pair of goals in this game. For Avazov behind the net. Too far. Wojciechowski unable to clear. Cone kept it alive at the blue line. Wojciechowski on the second attempt gets it out. Offsides is called against New Jersey, and the faceoff will be in the neutral zone with 7:14 to go.
You're seeing the defensive pair start to get juggled a little bit. You have Wojciechowski out there with Connor Lefkoff. He's normally on the pair with Bryce Wallace. You're starting to see things get shifted around a little bit as the junior hat-tricks try to spring some offense from their back end.
Haven't seen Jamison Bain and haven't seen too much of Bryce Wallace in this third period. Here's Hayden. Back for Madsey. Up ahead for Brandon Cope, and Cope will send it deep into the New Jersey end. Kavanaugh leaves it behind his own net. Ian Helm gets around the forecheck of two Danbury players. Looking to outrace Brandon Cope as well. Tim Hayden's there. Knocks it off of Helm's stick, not with possession. Tanner Smith off the boards. Collected by Cope. He gives back to Hayden with under 7 to play. Hayden at the red line. Tries sending it deep. It goes off the backside of Wesley Westendorf. Now Madsey, reaching ahead, connects with Cope, picks up Torianen. Matti Torianen driving behind the net. Ian Helm is there. Tim Hayden pinching on in, not out. Weber a shot, that's blocked by Tanner Smith. Here comes Smith the other way, picking up Cafaro, but Smith didn't see that and out of the glove of Hadley. New Jersey keeps the offense going. It's Kyle O'Neill, back to Jardine at the point. That shot is blocked. Torianen in a bit of pain, but he still managed to get in the way. 6:10 to go in regulation time. Here's Cafaro in the corner, doing battle with Dylan Weber. Cope clears it on out. This is Torianen. His pass goes under the stick of Weber. Danbury in the middle of a change. New Jersey unable to capitalize. Jardine again. Top of the circle, cutting towards the slot. Weber still on the ice. Wojciechowski goes behind the net. Mastroni trying to get it out. Nice pinch in by Doucette, keeps it alive. And this looks more like the first period, Casey, where New Jersey's just dictating where the puck's going to be. A shot on goal, gloved by Hadley, and he'll hold on.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Zach, because the Titans are just, again, a lot of it boils down to winning those board battles. And you're seeing, especially on the left wing for New Jersey, they're wreaking havoc against that particular side of Danbury defenders and wingers. They're imposing their will, and they're just cycling the puck so much cleaner along the wall.
Plenty of goals scored in this third period. Danbury would love to get another one past Ethan Cavanaugh. First line is out for Danbury. Misha Mashar canceled out by Philip Doucette. Now here's Nick Cullinan into the New Jersey end. Cullinan top of the circle, a shot off of Cavanaugh and out of play.
I like that shot from Cullinan. It's a clean look to the net, the cleanest look that they've had in almost 10 minutes since the last goal was scored.
First line will stay out for Danbury. First line will stay out for New Jersey, as Kovalev and Doucette prepare to duel once again. Kovalev with the face-off win. Goes back to the point. Holding the blue line is Madzi. Now Lefkoff a shot. Cavanaugh got a handle on it. Loose puck right in front of the Farrar Electric advertisement. Now here comes New Jersey out of the zone. Brandon Avazov to the outside. Watched by Lefkoff. Behind the net, a centering attempt right onto the stick of Nick Cullinan. Cullinan overskated it for a moment, gives up ahead for Nikita Kovalev. Misha Mashar, solid defensive play. Justin Cohn breaking that up. No icing on the play as Brandon Avazov wonders where the defense is. There's Ryan Wojciechowski telling him. Behind the net, Avazov sends a Danbury player down to the ice. Under 5 minutes to go in regulation time, Danbury trails by 1.
Avazov, perhaps by design, was lingering behind the play in case the puck quickly popped back to him.
Back the other way, it's Brandon Cope beating out an icing call. Cavanaugh out of his net, a centering attempt onto the stick of Kovalev, and a great diving block in the slot by New Jersey as 3 defenders managed to get in the way. Unable to hold the blue line, Ryan Wojciechowski, and then he sends it out of play. Faceoff will be in the neutral zone, but what an opportunity for Danbury to tie this.
Justin Cohn says Superman and leaps in front of the puck, in front of the netminder. We talk about the hesitancy of Ethan Cavanaugh playing the puck. He's late getting there, so Brandon Cope generates the breakaway. Tries a half stuff in, half pass in front. It sneaks out to the high slot, and what an effort by Cohn to sacrifice the body.
4:12 to go in regulation. Here's Westendorf for Danbury. Met at the blue line by Hagley. Madzi. Now Cope swinging it down deep. And Helm. Met by Torianen. Matti Torianen trying to dig the puck out. Instead it'll be Hagley pitchforking it into the Danbury zone. No icing on the play. Under 4 minutes to play in regulation time. Here's Cole Madzi looking for a home run pass. Connects up ahead with Westendorf. Westendorf gets around 1. Westendorf a shot, saved by Cavanaugh. Hayden at the point. Deflected on goal by Cope, and Cavanaugh got a piece of it. Cope looking to send it down deep. Knocked off his stick. Nate Biron gets it out of the zone. Biron gets around Madzi. Biron now in the corner. Under 3.5 to go. Biron gives up on the play. Brandon Cope is there. Swings back to Madzi. Madzi doesn't have much of an option, and his clearing attempt's knocked down by Cafaro. Cafaro, a backhander, deflects wide. Here's Westendorf. Ahead for Torianen. Torianen puts the lumber on the mitts of Justin Cohn. Cohn maintains possession. New Jersey controlling the puck with under 3 to play. Salas, his pass through the neutral zone went off the stick of Nate Biron. Madzi in trouble. Doing battle with Cafaro. Hagley there as well. A centering attempt goes wide. Here is Madigan. Kyle Madigan ambling through the neutral zone, splits the D. A shot goes over the top of the net. Mastroni in pursuit, can't handle it. Cafaro gets it as far as Lefkoff at the red line. Lefkoff sends it back in with 2.5 to go. Here's Sabatini. Behind the net for Salas, and Sabatini again. Fans on the clear. Now Salas. Knocked off of his stick by Weber. Weber takes a slash for his troubles. This gets cleared down the ice. If it rolls far enough, it will be icing. There's the whistle as New Jersey tries to change all 5 players. They'll be unable to do so. 2:12 to go in the third period. Casey, do you call your timeout here?
I might. I'm heavily considering it. I'd probably wait until the very last moment to call it. You're seeing individual efforts proving the most fruitful for the Danbury Junior hat-tricks. And while that's great that Wes Westendorf and Kyle Madigan and Brandon Cope are starting to generate more breakaways, you have to cycle the puck more. Get the puck in behind the end line. That's where the junior hat-tricks are most successful, and they're sending out their top line now to play some hero ball.
Here is Misha Mashar beneath the goal line. Mashar, puck on his backhand, goes back to Lefkoff at the point. Lefkoff has that deflect off a New Jersey stick and out of play. 2:03 to go in regulation time. Danbury needs one. Kevin Cunningham keeping his timeout in his pocket right now. Cullinan will settle in for another face-off against Philip Doucette.
You're seeing Cole Madsey step onto the ice to replace Ryan Wojciechowski if they can get it out to him in the high slot.
Madsey and Lefkoff paired together once again, a familiar refrain for Colonials fans. Here's Madsey from the point, deflects just wide. Mashar on the doorstep, couldn't pull the trigger. Philip Doucette with under 2 to play. Off the stick of Bell, this should be icing if Lefkoff wins the race. He does. And the faceoff will come back down into the New Jersey zone. And this is a New Jersey line that's been out for a little while now.
They have. They're starting to get a little bit of tired legs, but Ian Gonzalez-Helm, how about the play at the near side post, canceling out the stick of Misha Mashar. He's got some of the silkiest mitts on the junior hat-tricks, trying to pull it from behind the net to tuck it in at the near side. Only has so much room to work with, and Gonzalez-Helm is able to use his frame to box out Mashar and push him against the end boards.
Boxes him out, and beyond that, prevents Mashar from sending the puck into the slot as well. Cullinan and Doucette on another draw, this time Doucette with the face-off win. And Helm turns away from the pressure of 2 forecheckers. He'll flip it out of the zone. Racing after this is Brett Bell. Cole Madsey will get there first, no icing on this play. Madsey leaves it in the corner. Lefkoff helps along for Kovalev with under 100 seconds to play. Nate Hadley looking towards the Danbury bench. Here's Kovalev into the New Jersey zone. Stepping up on the play is Helm. Kovalev managed to get it down deep for Mashar. Mashar has it knocked off of his stick. Holding the blue line's Connor Lefkoff. Lefkoff sends it back down deep along the sidewall. 80 seconds to go. Mashar can't get the puck off the stick of Ian Helm. Now Helm leads the Titans 3-on-1 into the zone. A shot, save, rebound, and loose in front of the net. Where is it? There's the whistle. Lefkoff knocked the net off of its moorings, and because of that, Danbury will not be able to change their line.
No, and that's a crucial non-change for Danbury as you see some exhausted legs, and now I think that Kevin Cunningham will take his timeout for the junior hat-tricks. Almost a disastrous turn of events. I'm surprised that they did not pull Hadley with the puck in deep for so long. They had possession for a good 20-30 seconds in the offensive zone. Hadley, you saw him start to skate out towards the hash marks and make his way towards the bench at the time that Helm was leading the breakout. By that point, it's too little too late. He has to backpedal, and now you've got your goaltender playing on his heels, reading that rush. Almost a disastrous turn of events for Danbury.
So 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining in regulation time. Faceoff will be down in the Danbury zone. We already know who they're putting out. It'll be Lefkoff and Madsey, Kovalev, Cullinan, and Mashar up front. As soon as Danbury clears the zone, I'm expecting Hadley to make a mad dash towards the bench.
I would expect so, and I would expect to see, honestly, a full forward line change for Danbury as well, because this line has been out there for almost a minute. It's kind of an awkward situation now. Not being able to change like that means that you'll have to dump and chase, which is less than ideal with this amount of time left on the clock.
With this amount of time and with ostensibly an empty net 200 feet away.
Yes. You're just opening the door for a retrieval and a blind toss towards the other net.
No surprise on New Jersey's personnel on the blue line. It's Cone and Salas, Doucette, Avazov, Bell up front for the Titans. A 50-50 draw. Kovalev manages to win it. 1:05 to go. Here's Connor Lefkoff at his own blue line for Kovalev into the New Jersey end. Hadley to the bench, extra attacker on for Danbury. Lefkoff swings one far side, he picks up Cullinan. Cullinan throws it into a near side area for Kovalev. Kovalev has the stick slashed out of his hands. It's a penalty against New Jersey. And with 46.1 seconds to go, Danbury will have a 6-on-4 man advantage, but it allows New Jersey to fire from anywhere on the ice. No icing.
That's a great point, Zach, and I'm sure that Cone is expressing his frustration. Justin Cone looking at the official saying, now you're going to start calling things tighter? because that was not exactly the most egregious slash of the game by any account. But now you have 6-on-4 action. This is the biggest face-off of the game, Zach.
It'll be taken by Nikita Kovalev. He has Cullinan flanking him to the left, Kyle Madigan, Misha Mishar to the right. Brandon Cope, Connor Lefkoff, the only defenseman. That makes the 6-man unit for Danbury. Lefkoff, gloves down, a clearing attempt for Cope. Cope, a shot. It's loose on the side of the cage. Madigan has it underneath him, and then somehow Kavanaugh gets a glove on it. Faceoff will be to his left with 37.5 to go.
That went off the hip of Kovalev under the body of Madigan, and Kavanaugh reaches out the trapper and snares it.
Danbury has already used their timeout. Face off on the far side. Cullinan will step in against Philip Doucette again. Doucette with a clean face-off win into the corner. Kovalev again has his stick slashed out of his hands. Brandon Cope looking to clear it. 3 hat tricks in the corner, 26 seconds to go, and with the puck is Nick Cullinan. He gives to Lefkoff. Lefkoff widens and fires. It's loose in front, and Madigan can't knock it home.
Kavanaugh lays flat on his back like Snoopy on a doghouse and stares at the sky. Lefkoff put his arms in the air. He thought Madigan was going to bury that one underneath his backside. What a stop.
19.8 seconds on the scoreboard. The personnel will remain the same. Danbury desperately looking for the tying goal. Face-off will be to the left of to the right of Ethan Kavanaugh. Nick Cullinan this time, the face-off man. He has Brandon Cope to his left. Kyle Madigan getting into a shoving match with Lucas Salas in the slot.
You got to keep your head if you're Madigan. You cannot be goaded into a penalty here.
Ian Helm now getting into it with Madigan. And at some point we'll play hockey again. Cullinan looking to win this to his backhand. He does. Lefkoff at the point. Has an option in Kovalev, and Kovalev couldn't get the shot. It rolls down the ice. 12 seconds to go. Lefkoff is there. 10 seconds remaining. Now 8. A long pass by Lefkoff at center ice. Mishar chips it along. 4 seconds remaining. Brandon Cope with 2 left. A centering attempt knocked behind the net. And the New Jersey Titans